So coming out into Limgrave, the first area of the Lands Between, is a little bit overwhelming. Like if we just run in a circle around the building that we've come out of, there is so much stuff in all directions. And let me tell you, like this game is so much bigger than it first appears. So how on earth do we figure out where to go? One thing we can do is look for the Guidance of Grace. So that's these beams of light that appear out of the sights of grace sometimes. It draws a direct straight line to our next objective as determined by the gods of this world. Nothing in the world of Elden Ring is black and white or clear cut. So following this light, this Guidance of Grace, is up to you really. Though I would recommend you follow the first few. They guide you through what I feel is like the intended first few hours of this game. But they're good to come back to if you're ever unsure of where to go next. It can put you back on track and point you towards the bigger dungeons and more fearsome enemies that you'll find in the game. Having said that, if you're only just starting, you're probably not feeling prepared to go and take on something fearsome just yet. So how do we prepare? As you explore around the Lands Between, you'll keep spotting things that pull your attention, like what's that on top of that hill, and like, is that a cave? And I'd really recommend you let your curiosity guide you. Go and look at those things and see what's up. Finding these sorts of like side locations is really beneficial. You'll find some loot, you'll find runes, which is your currency for leveling up and buying stuff, and you'll get the most valuable thing of all, which is practice and experience of playing Elden Ring. The only thing I'd warn against is to just try and keep your bearings. The map is huge and it's easy to get a bit lost or lose track of where you've already been. So one way to do this is to try and use the landmarks. There's lots of nice big scenery to use as reference points. Like to start, we came out of this building with this really distinct statue on top. You know, we can see there's a building in the distance there, looks a bit like a church. There's these large towers and bridges. So just keep an eye on your surroundings as you explore to track where you are in relation to some of those bigger landmarks. A couple of final tips on exploring. Just remember that combat, especially while you're out in the open world, isn't mandatory. It's almost always possible to avoid an encounter if there's something big and tough in your way. But just maybe make sure to have a couple of tries at that encounter before you decide to give up. We'll talk a little bit more about how to get better at combat later in the guide.